Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Christine Brown, previously the ever-smiling, loving third wife of Sister Wives patriarch Kody Brown, is finally revealing what it was like to live in a multiple marriage, and what she discloses is not only devastating, but also very frightening. Christine is using her voice to share the harsh truth about the emotional and spiritual toll polygamy took on her, and it's sending shockwaves across the Brown family and the Sister Wives audience. Christine's expose is more than just a condemnation of Kody's treatment, it's a regretful confession about the fundamental foundation of multiple marriage, and how it lost her years of identity, agency, and genuine love. What about the way she's opening up now? It's not just daring, it's a revolution. Christine was portrayed for years as the fun mom, a quirky homemaker who constantly smiled and supported the poly family lifestyle. But as the seasons progressed, admirers began to realize the flaws beneath her effervescent exterior. The lady who previously taught the spiritual benefits of sharing a husband began to appear worn out, emotionally spent, and eventually unrecognizable to herself. "I wanted to believe it was sacred," she said in a recent interview, "but it broke me." Those 7 words, simple, real, and heartbreaking, sounded like a thunderclap throughout the Sister Wives universe. Christine was devastated to see that she had sacrificed her goals, voice, and sense of self in the cause of a religious ideal that never truly served her. For years, she refused to admit this remorse. But now, free of Kody and the polygamous lifestyle that characterized her entire life, Christine is stitching together her own identity, and with it, the bitter realization of what she lost. "I was taught that jealousy was a weakness," she explained. "So I shoved it down. I was told that sacrifice would make me righteous. I kept giving until I had nothing left." Christine's regret is deeper than the public could have guessed. This is more than just marital turmoil, it's about a lady who was raised to believe that love meant disappearing. And when she finally realized the reality, the entire belief system she had based her life on began to crumble. Christine's thoughts have sparked a blaze of fan controversy, particularly as she contrasts her current monogamous happiness with the emotional emptiness of her previous numerous relationships. In her new life with husband David Woolley, she exudes pleasure, humor, and confidence, a far cry from the Christine viewers have known for over a decade. "This is what love is supposed to feel like," she said, tears welling up in her eyes. "Not just crumbs. Not waiting for my turn. Not begging to be seen." Her statement struck a chord, especially with women who are currently imprisoned in similar situations, those who have been taught that their worth is dependent on self-denial and religious obedience. Christine isn't simply telling her story, she's blazing a trail for others who feel trapped, silenced, or invisible. The regret is multi-layered. Christine now admits that she stayed far longer than she should have, motivated by guilt, doctrine, and a dread of splitting up the family. "I didn't want to be the one who ruined it all," she joked, "but staying was ruining me." She speaks openly about the years she spent in a condition of spiritual dissonance, trying to convince herself that she was lucky while privately lamenting the type of love she never had. "I was never his priority," Christine claimed of Kody. "And I told myself that was fine, I didn't need to be. The truth is that everyone deserves to be loved first. And I never was." These are not the sentiments of a bitter woman, they are the sobering views of someone who has finally seen the light after living in the darkness for far too long. And her decision to finally speak out? It was not easy. Christine has stated that she remained silent for years out of loyalty, not only to Kody, but to the concept of polygamy itself. "I didn't want to let my community down," she told me. "But I realized I was letting myself down instead." The silence harmed her emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And now she's reclaiming every bit of her voice. She started using her social media channels and interviews to not only promote her new life, but also to combat the myth that polygamy is a realistic option for emotional fulfillment. "For some people, maybe it works," she conceded. "For me, it was bondage. It was lonely. I had been living a lie for far too long. Fans who formerly saw her gently sink into the background are now seeing a completely different Christine, one who dances, laughs loudly, posts ridiculous TikToks, and openly discusses the things she used to hide. What surprised you the most? Christine has explicitly indicated that she wishes she had gone years ago. I reflect on the quieter version of myself. I just want to hug her. But I also want to tell her, you can leave. You do not need to wait for someone to choose you. You have the freedom to make your own choices. This message has struck a chord with followers who have followed her journey, with many claiming Christine's narrative has motivated them to reconsider their own relationships and the sacrifices they've made in the name of commitment. Her public change is more than just a personal journey, it represents a cultural moment. Christine was the only woman to leave the plural marriage before Janelle and Mary did, and she was the first to criticize the emotional injustice in a system based on spiritual hierarchy. Her bravery shattered the illusion that everything was running properly. And now she's dispelling the myth that polygamy, at least in the Brown family's case, was ever sustainable. We called it unity, Christine explained. But it was control. We called it faith. But it was fear. These are not simply reflections. They are critiques of a system that, according to Christine, encouraged women to be content with emotional scraps. But probably the most heartbreaking admission? Christine regrets what her children witnessed. They witnessed me settle. They saw that I was hurt. They witnessed me lying to myself every day. I believed I was giving them power, but really I was showing them silence. It's a confession that sent fans to tears. Christine has since stated that her children are much happier and healthier as a result of leaving that environment, and that her decision to leave was not only for herself, but also for them. I want my daughters to know they never have to wait to be loved, she told me. They do not have to be someone's second, third, or fourth. They could be the one. Christine's sorrow is not harsh, but clear. She is not furious about the years she has lost, rather, she is resolved to make every minute of the future count. Her story is a phoenix story, in which a woman scorched by love emerges from the ashes stronger than ever before. She's recovering her story one truth at a time, and with each word, she's redefining what it means to walk away from what you were told was sacred. Because sometimes the most courageous thing you can say is, this isn't working. And I deserve better. And as Christine begins to assert her dominance, she is redefining not only her personal life, but also the entire cultural perception of what polygamy looks like behind closed doors. You don't owe your life to an idea, she declared. You do not have to suffer in quiet to be deemed virtuous, faithful, or loyal. You owe it to yourself to be free. And that, more than anything else, is the legacy Christine Brown is creating now, not as Kody's wife, not as a sister wife, but as a woman who has finally chosen herself.